Man, you know what started as hella boring, and I might have been the only one in the room, maybe Seabass, who watched any of it. Did you watch the Penn State Notre Dame game?
No.
Just a teeny bit of most notably the pass interference scandal.
Yeah, well, it started hella boring. I was like, and then Jeff G started texting, so I kind of like lost interest, and it was on, but I wasn't really paying attention to it. And he goes, man, this game's getting good. I'm like, oh. So I tuned back in, and it was all tied up. And then Notre Dame went up by a touchdown. But, like, in the end, it was Notre Dame who won. And they won with 36 seconds left. It was tied at 24. But Penn State, they gave up an interception, which allowed Notre Dame to get down the field in the field goal range. And it was a winning 41-yard kick. Jeez. That was it. So now the Irish are going to play for the national championship against either Texas or Ohio State. That game is tonight. And that's going to be the Cotton Bowl, AT&T Stadium in Arlington. So the kickoff on that, ESPN, 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. The national championship game will be in Atlanta a week from Monday.
We're still playing college football, people.
Yeah, I like the playoff thing. A lot of people have been ripping on the college football playoff thing. I think it's been good. I like it.
Well, with all the different bowls that are happening, I thought after that was done, everything was done.
Right, that's what, exactly.
Well, we're still doing bowls.
These are bowls on bowls.
I seem to remember, years ago, and I've never paid super close attention to college football. It's always kind of been like a peripheral thing for me. I always watch the national championship game. And maybe because I never went to college. Clearly, you can hear that in the DUIQ.
You have no skin in the game.
It makes a difference.
Not a lot of education.
If either you went to a big state school or you grew up near one.
Correct.
What's your favorite bowl?
Oh, what's my favorite bowl?
I thought the Orange Bowl was always
but I remember
famous.
When I was a kid, like they were always on New Year's Day. It was like New Year's Eve, New Year's Day were all the bowl games.
They still are.
And then there was like the national championship one was like kind of the one-off. And then they did this playoff system. And
I went to a college that didn't have a college football team, which sucked because I wished I had gone to a school that had a football team. But I have a very, very random question. When it comes to ticketing for these games, do they give students priority?
You get an allotment. So, like, I never had to pay for tickets to Georgia Tech. And we were good back then.
Yeah.
It wasn't just because they sucked. No, because you can either sign up a couple different ways for like your dorm, or you can sign up to be in like the cheer squad section.
Okay.
Yeah. Or they give all the frats a certain allotment. So that's how we got ours.
I wonder if my stepmom's even going to be able to make it out of bed to work today. She's big time, hardcore Penn State fan.
Oh,
she didn't go to that
last time.
She's always been like, it's weird because
Party?
Huh?
She partied?
Depressed.
Oh no, I'm sure that she's crushed.
Bummed. Because they haven't really been in it recently, the past few years at all, right?
But Notre Dame too. This is their first trip to the national championship since the '80s, which I thought.
Since Rudy?
Yeah, I heard that this morning. I was surprised because you feel like you always hear about Notre Dame.
Right.
It's one of those schools, one of those programs.
Even I've heard of them. I don't know anything.
Yeah. Now, the one thing I don't like about college football, I don't like the arbitrary element of like the rankings, how they do it, while the writer, whoever the coaches poll, like that to me is still confusing as someone who doesn't follow it super close.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't like it. And I know there's just too many schools and there's too many like degrees of, it's not necessarily apples to apples.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's the one thing I don't like because I don't like the arbitrary element of it.
When
I think
they do the
sports
rankings,
should be black or white.
It's like cryptocurrency to me. I'm just like, what?
And that's gone away largely, or to some degree, because of the playoffs, but also the conference
But
championships.
who gets into the playoffs? And that was like one of the big controversies this year.
Well, but that because you do have conference champions now.
Sure.
So that that you can only get that by winning. Yeah, that's not a ranking thing. And then there's some convoluted thing where like they pick 5. There's like 12 available conferences, and 5 of them can go, plus the big 4.
That's what I mean. It's like what?
So they've complicated it more somehow by having the playoffs.
Is it basketball?
Oh yeah, remember in basketball?
Yes, this is what that sounds like to me. I just don't.
God,
I don't follow.
I love basketball and I love Casa Bonita. I wish those guys would come on the show.
I know.
It's like we're not fake fans over here.
I love their musical.
They did that thing in basketball where they were trying to explain how it all worked.
Hi there, I'm Dan Patrick. And I'm Kenny Mayne. With the first 7 months of the basketball postseason out of the way, the playoff picture is now starting to emerge.
So with last night's victory over Boston, next week the Bears must beat Indianapolis in order to advance to Charlotte.
That's in an effort to reduce their magic number to 3. Right, and then the Bears can advance to the National Eastern Division North to play Tampa. So if the Bears beat Detroit and Denver beats Atlanta in the American Southwestern Division East Northern, then Milwaukee goes to the Denslow Cup. Unless Baltimore can upset Buffalo and Charlotte ties Toronto, then Oakland would play LA and Pittsburgh in a blind choice round robin. And if no clear winner emerges from all this, a 2-man sack race will be held on consecutive Sundays until a champion is crowned.
Yeah, all right, so
exactly.
it's like hieroglyphics.
Good pull, Greg.
Is that how you feel, Gina, when you hear the sports talk?
100%.
Couple things. Notre Dame went to the championship in 2013, but they haven't won since the 80s. That's what it is. And then Menace has the question, to which the 757 has an answer. What's your favorite ball? 757 says a packed one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
The Woody Show will be right back. Alt 98.7.